General Hospital will reveal as Jason and Sonny relentlessly pursue the identity of the mastermind behind the devastating penthouse explosion. Their investigation has led them to a critical turning point. Salisky, the elusive figure believed to have orchestrated the detonation, was finally cornered after a meticulous operation. Jason tracked encrypted transactions while Sonny leveraged his deep ties within the criminal underworld to flush the man out. Trapped with nowhere to run, Salisky was expected to break under pressure, but instead, he chose silence. He refused to divulge the identity of the person who hired him, and his unwavering loyalty sent a chilling message. Someone far more powerful, someone in the shadows, was pulling the strings. A puppet master so fearsome that even seasoned mercenaries wouldn't dare speak his name. The explosion had not only threatened Sonny's life, it had nearly claimed that of his son, Michael, who was caught in the blast. Severely injured and suffering from life-threatening burns. Michael is now receiving advanced care at a specialized burn clinic in Germany. Though his body is beginning to heal, the emotional toll on Sonny has only deepened. The guilt, the rage, and the overwhelming sense of failure continue to simmer beneath the surface. Sonny, a man known for control and calculated force, now finds himself reeling in the wake of a betrayal that struck at the heart of his family. Just as the trail began to grow cold, a new figure emerged in Port Charles, Ezra. His sudden arrival and immediate friction with both Sonny and Mayor Laura did not go unnoticed. Ezra holds a position on the city council, but his demeanor suggests a man with far more ambition, and possibly a sinister agenda. His open disdain for Sonny, his thinly veiled contempt for Mayor Laura, and his refusal to cooperate with any city-led initiatives point to something deeper than political rivalry. He doesn't simply oppose them, he resents them. And in Port Charles, resentment can be a dangerous currency. More concerning, however, is Ezra's close affiliation with Drew, a former Navy SEAL turned senator with undeniable political influence. Their alliance raises alarming questions. Drew has the background, the resources, and the reach to access military-grade explosives, perhaps even the very kind used in the penthouse attack. Though no one wants to believe Drew could be involved, the connection is impossible to ignore. If Ezra is the mind behind the plan, Drew could be the enabler, either knowingly or unknowingly providing access to the tools of destruction. Ezra's past is a mystery. He has no long-standing ties to Port Charles. No traceable vendettas, yet his actions suggest otherwise. There is speculation that he might be the son or relative of a long-forgotten enemy of Sonny's. Someone who was eliminated or ruined during Sonny's rise to power. Others whisper that Ezra could be a government plant, embedded in the city with one mission, dismantle Sonny's empire from within. His calculated demeanor, political maneuvers, and ability to stay just beneath the radar all point to a man with a long game. A man who didn't just show up, he was sent. Meanwhile, Jason continues to dig deeper, reaching out to contacts within the WSB and tracing any link between the bomb's design and known rogue operatives. Sonny, driven by vengeance and guilt, has begun to reevaluate every alliance, every enemy, and every overlooked threat from the past. The more he investigates, the more he suspects this wasn't just an assassination attempt, it was a declaration of war. A message meant to cripple not only him but the foundation of everything he's built. Now, with suspicion growing, and trust in short supply, Port Charles teeters on the edge of chaos. Ezra's presence is no longer a coincidence. He is a storm gathering at the city's doorstep, silent, cold, and devastatingly calculated. And as Sonny prepares for whatever is coming next, one truth becomes impossible to ignore: the attack on the penthouse was only the beginning. Speculation has begun to swirl rapidly across Port Charles, and even beyond, that Ezra is far more than just a low-level city councilman. His sudden emergence in the political sphere, his overt hostility towards Sonny, and his carefully guarded personal history have ignited theories that he may be connected by blood to one of Sonny's long-forgotten enemies. Perhaps Ezra is the son nephew, or even grandson of a once powerful rival, someone who fell at the height of Sonny's brutal ascent through the criminal underworld. Such an individual could have harbored a festering grudge for years, passing down stories of betrayal, vengeance, and humiliation through generations. Now, the next of kin has returned, not with reckless rage, but with chilling patience and meticulous planning, determined to finish what his predecessor could not. The whispers do not stop there. Some believe that Ezra may have far-reaching ties to international crime syndicates, organizations that have previously crossed paths with the World Security Bureau, WSB. The very bomb used in the penthouse attack bore the hallmarks of a high-level, specialized weapon, something beyond the reach of local criminals or rogue operatives. It points to involvement from powerful networks with access to military-grade weaponry and espionage-grade coordination. If Ezra has allies in these global syndicates, or worse, if he is acting as their embedded agent in Port Charles, then the threat Sonny faces goes far beyond personal vendetta, it becomes geopolitical. Underneath Ezra's polished appearance and calm, calculated demeanor, many suspect lies a seething fury and a thirst for vengeance that has been carefully concealed. He walks the halls of local government as though politics is merely a mask, a stage upon which he performs the role of the civil servant while laying the groundwork for chaos. His apparent indifference may be nothing more than a facade for a cold, strategic mind. His disdain for both Sonny and Mayor Laura seems too intentional to be coincidental. And his refusal to engage in civic cooperation may be a tactic designed to destabilize the fragile balance of power in the city. What makes Ezra particularly dangerous is the possibility that he is operating under the protection, or at the behest, of powerful entities that reside far outside the jurisdiction of Port Charles. These are forces that cannot be intimidated, bribed, or eliminated in the ways Sonny is accustomed to. Ezra may be a vessel of revenge, but also a catalyst for something far more insidious. A takedown orchestrated with precision, using political infiltration rather than street violence. Adding to the unease is the eerie sense that Ezra always seems to be one step ahead. Information leaks from government offices, key figures in law enforcement have gone silent, and Sonny's usual channels of intelligence are being disrupted. It's as if Ezra knew exactly how to insert himself into the city's ecosystem and is now manipulating it from within. The more Sonny tries to uncover about this man, the more he realizes how little is truly known. There are no photographs from Ezra's youth, no clear career path before his appointment to the council, and no trace of family, only rumors, half-truths, and shadows. If these suspicions prove correct, Sonny may be facing an adversary unlike any he's encountered before. Ezra's war isn't being fought with guns in the streets, it's being waged in boardrooms, political chambers, and through the slow erosion of trust and control. Behind his cold eyes may lie years of planning, powerful backers, and a mission of total destruction. And if Sonny doesn't act swiftly and decisively, he may find himself not only losing his empire, but also becoming the final casualty in a vendetta born decades ago, now reignited in silence and smoke. The potential involvement of Drew, however implausible it may seem on the surface, cannot be entirely ruled out. Beneath his composed and respectable public persona lies a military past that few in Port Charles truly understand in full. As a former Navy SEAL, Drew possesses not only first-hand experience with advanced warfare tactics but also a deep familiarity with high-grade military technology and the shadowy channels through which it is often accessed. Though he has long since transitioned into a more visible, politically driven role as a senator, his past life has endowed him with connections, knowledge, and resources that most civilians simply do not have. It is this very background that raises difficult questions, particularly when examined in the context of Ezra's emergence and the suspiciously timed attack on Sonny's penthouse. The explosive device used in the bombing wasn't a typical street weapon, it was sophisticated, surgically deployed, and left very little traceable evidence. Analysts with ties to the WSB even speculated that it resembled tech reserved for covert government operations. That kind of bomb is not something an average criminal could get their hands on. But someone with Drew's history might know where to look, or at the very least, might unknowingly open a door that someone like Ezra could walk through. There is a growing theory that Drew may have been manipulated, used as a conduit for access, without full awareness of what his resources would be used for. On the other hand, there are those who argue that Drew's motives may not be as pure as they appear. Despite their past alliances, Drew and Sonny have had their share of philosophical and personal clashes. Sonny's influence over Port Charles is unmatched, and that kind of dominance can easily threaten political figures like Drew who seek a different kind of control over the city's future. If Drew harbors private grievances, whether political, personal, or moral, he could see Sonny not as an ally, but as an obstacle that must be removed for the greater good. Even more alarming is the undeniable connection between Drew and Ezra. The two share more than a few backroom conversations and carefully worded public statements. Their camaraderie has the air of mutual benefit, of calculated trust. To the average citizen, it might seem like standard political cooperation. But to Sonny, and to Jason, who has been keeping a quiet eye on the movements of both men, it reeks of something far more deliberate. If there is a hidden alliance between them, then Ezra may not be acting alone. He may be part of a broader plan involving political disruption, a shift in power dynamics, and the slow dismantling of Sonny's empire from within. This possible link between Drew and Ezra could be the critical turning point in the investigation, an avenue that, if followed, might unravel the true scope of the plot against Sonny. It might not be a simple act of revenge or criminal rivalry. It could be a well-coordinated effort with layers of strategic intent, leveraging political influence, military-grade resources, and personal vendettas to bring down one of the most formidable figures in Port Charles. And if that's the case, Sonny is no longer just the target of a bomb, he's the central figure in a much larger game. A game in which every move has been anticipated, every weakness studied, and every potential ally turned into a possible traitor. If Drew is involved, even passively, it means the enemy is closer than Sonny imagined, and the betrayal may have already begun. As Jason continues his meticulous work, quietly gathering intelligence from deep within the ranks of the WSB and FBI, Sonny finds himself increasingly ensnared in what appears to be a deadly and highly orchestrated game, one in which every ally might be a pawn. And every move has already been calculated by forces lurking in the shadows. What once felt like a personal attack is now revealing itself to be something far more complex, far more sinister. This isn't just about vengeance or turf, it's about dismantling Sonny's entire world, piece by piece, from within. Everywhere Sonny turns, uncertainty looms. People he once trusted without hesitation now carry the weight of suspicion. Conversations feel rehearsed, glances linger too long, and silence speaks louder than words. Port Charles, a city he once held in the palm of his hand, has transformed into a battlefield shrouded in deception. And at the center of this rising storm is Ezra, no longer just a minor political figure. No longer a mere thorn in the side of Sonny's influence. Ezra has become something much more dangerous, a symbol of buried secrets and a vessel of unfinished vendettas. Resurrected from the depths of Sonny's past. It's becoming increasingly clear that Ezra is not acting impulsively. Every action, every public comment, every confrontation with Sonny and Mayor Laura has been measured with chilling precision. He operates with the calm confidence of someone who holds a secret map, someone who knows exactly where to strike and when. To the public, he remains the image of professionalism and poise. But behind the scenes, he may be the architect of Sonny's unraveling, armed not with brute force, but with calculated influence and strategic alliances. There is a growing sense that Ezra is connected to a chapter of Sonny's life that he thought was long buried, an era filled with blood, betrayal, and shadows that never truly faded. Perhaps Ezra is the son of an enemy left for dead. Perhaps he was raised in bitterness, molded by stories of Sonny's ruthlessness, trained not to confront, but to infiltrate and destroy from within. Or perhaps his vendetta isn't personal at all, but ideological, driven by a belief that Sonny's grip on Port Charles is a cancer that must be excised for the greater good. Whatever the truth may be, The stakes have never been higher. This is no longer a question of territory or dominance. This is a matter of survival. Sonny is being targeted not just as a man, but as an institution. His allies, his businesses, his very reputation are being stripped away through whispers, manipulated events, and unseen hands pulling the strings. And with Jason preoccupied by his own covert efforts to trace the technological and international threads behind the bomb, Sonny must navigate this battlefield alone, uncertain of who to trust. Or whether anyone can be trusted at all. Port Charles is no longer just his home. It has become a chessboard, each square a potential trap, each move fraught with risk. Ezra, calm and unshaken, is playing the long game, and he's not just threatening Sonny's position, he's threatening the very fabric of the city itself. If Sonny loses this battle, he doesn't just fall from power. He loses everything, his legacy, his family, and perhaps even his life. And so, beneath the surface of everyday life in Port Charles, a silent war is brewing. A war of politics and power. Of secrets and sabotage. A war where the first explosion was only the opening move, and the endgame is still yet to be revealed. As the layers of mystery continue to unravel in General Hospital. One thing is certain, nothing is what it seems, and danger may be hiding in plain sight. With Sonny inching closer to a truth that could shatter everything he knows. And Jason racing against time to expose a conspiracy that reaches far beyond Port Charles, the stakes have never been higher. What role will Ezra truly play in this silent war? Is Drew a pawn, or a player? Don't miss a single episode, because every twist, every betrayal, and every revelation is leading to something bigger. Keep watching General Hospital to uncover the truth behind the explosion, the secrets buried in the past, and the ultimate battle that could change the future of Port Charles forever.